with a theme of managing environment and climate change, transitioning to sustainable economy. Now you have seen before starting the last year's thing, our friend Mr. Kapoor mentioned that even the comparer is remaining same thing. The topic remains more or less same, except the few statements made by a couple of world leaders on this aspect in the last 1 year. Friends, all of us are talking about climate change and how it is impacting our lives. Presently, if you see, the emphasis was being given, I think when you must have heard Justice Panchayat, he says that corporates are the torchbearers in the society today. Maybe how each one of you perceives is different, but society perceives that you are the torchbearers, not only for supplying goods and services and products, but also how this society moves forward. Today, if you look at across the globe, not only in India and Telangana, but the corporates are, struggling for various reasons. Economies are shaking, and you know how for the last couple of years and most recently after Brexit, what is happening to Europe. Rising of market risks and uncertainties, unprecedented climate change. It becomes imperative to think of some solution, and for that we are saying sustainable economy is what our theme which speaks of that. Now, how these corporates are relevant is been mentioned. Now also some of you are going to talk in this 10 sessions spanning 2 days, today and tomorrow. Friends, two things have happened about a year and a half ago which are really, really important, which also spoken by one of the speakers in the last year, also going to spoken today and tomorrow. One is, this will impact the future course of global development, not only in the corporate, but also how the society is going to move forward. That you are all aware, but I repeat, issue of a UN statement for sustainable development goals and the agenda for 2030, which is just 13 years. And third is Paris climate change, which I mentioned earlier. Somebody has mentioned a couple of weeks or a month ago some statement on that. They would like to perceive, and the rest of the world is going to react onto that. The third thing, friends, is that whatever things happen, people talk of that only the 20th century has brought in this sort of difficulties and problems in the climate change, but also if we look at right from maybe for a millennium till 20th century, whatever has happened, I think we have done much worse in the last couple of decades. And if things go accordingly, then I don't know where the Mother Earth will lead us. And now the 21st century, and for you and all of us, entire now population on this Mother Earth have the responsibility to find ways and means. One is to recognize that who is doing damage to what extent. We shall map it. Maybe some of the speakers in this 10 sessions minus one of award session, 9 sessions, I would request them to come forward and speak on that, to map on the damage being caused on this Mother Earth, of how much by each one of them. And we have responsibility to take care of that, also to contain the process. Then only something can happen, otherwise it will be difficult. We may be having this World Congress in maybe another 100 years in this process, if nothing we take onto our hands. Now friends, all of us are seeing in the last a decade or so, earlier also they were. Now we talk of our Indian system of Panchabhutas, maybe also the rest of the world. But let's see how each one of them have been impacted. Look at air. Now, in a few places within India, it's becoming difficult to breathe. I live in Hyderabad about 20 days a month. Now, it becomes difficult in some months to breathe. Now look at water. What happened to the water? Plenty of water is there. In fact, 3/4 of the globe is water, but still we don't have sufficient water and pure water for us. We have done something to that. Look at third one, the Earth, Mother Earth itself. In terms of mining and in terms of using fertilizers and things like that, we have damaged it. Now, ozone layer been breached. And one of the continent, Australia, is suffering today. The only thing which is not affected is a fire. And how they react Whether it could be tsunami, it could be other earthquake, it could be floods, it could be whatever you have seen. And just imagine one day, all these Panchabhutas want to react because a human being the most intelligent creature on Mother Earth, is not taking care of Mother Earth, and if they react, what will happen to us? And believe me, I'm not a predictor or a god, but someday it's going to happen if we do not take care of these things. We talk of equity. And equity of what? We say within the state or within the district, within the family or within the continent, we say we all should share the resources. But each element on this Mother Earth, including sun, has energy. Energy is there in the coal, energy is there in the water, energy is there in the trees and plants. So far we are saying coal and fossil fuels, very limited solar and wind and other we call green energies, very limited way, because not of much research is taking place in that. And here I not openly blame on this platform from this, which is a responsible organization, but there is a lobby working, because this energy is more going to be beneficial for the nations which are poor nations or southern nations compared to the western nations or northern nations. Now they don't take care of that because they have their own interest on that. Second, the oil lobby. Oil lobby probably does not want the rest of things to progress. It could be solar. While the computers or electronics which are reached today storing in terabytes in a small piece of these things, but whereas solar PLF today is only 16-14%. If something could be done, and we require about 5 to 6 acres for 1 megawatt. If you can compress that and bring it to maybe few square meters by doing research, I'm sure that I don't need to depend on any of those fossil fuels. The other area, which I think yesterday evening with one of the industrialists we were talking when we were having dinner with Excellency Ambassador of Norway and our President and others, we were talking of the batteries. Today, even if I have a power to store solar things when I don't need, there is no storage capacity. Great extent of pollution can be reduced in the cities. The third area, friends, is very futuristic. Maybe probably we may not be living on that. Today it is available. The energy from water, not a hydro. I'm talking of a hydrogen fuel cells. That's a very, very futuristic. Research is taking place, but in a very, very limited way. I don't know, I cannot blame that it is deliberately being done, but at least a continent like ours, where we have resource limitations, we should get on to that. So virtually, once a solar fuel cells can come in, what is today I think the challenge is that a catalyst, the material which requires to break water into hydrogen and oxygen. It is being done today, it is being done in some buses in western countries, also in satellites, also in submarines. It's being done. Its technology is available, but not at a commercial level. So my request to the audience who are here, you can put it back to some research organizations and scientists to work on this across the globe, not only in India, across the globe, on a hydrogen fuel cell. And once that comes in fact, recently some of you may be aware that one boy, young boy has in Pune, he used, we call motorcycle, on water. It's not water, it's broke water into hydrogen, oxygen, he has used it. That's a challenge for us, friends. And all of you know, because Hyderabad is a very, very unique place, not only in an Indian map, under the world map. Before it was declared as a second most must-see city in the world by National Geographic. And some of you are Hyderabad, you know about the importance of Hyderabad, but those who are guests for the Hyderabad, I really welcome you to this Hyderabad. Hyderabad is, it's a very, very unique place. I said, it's a Ganga Jamuna ka Tehzeeb, jo bolte hai, is a cultural mix. This is there. And some of those who have come this time to Hyderabad, if you have come from the outer ring road, while going back, go via Mehedipatnam to reach airport, you see a different Hyderabad. And next time when you come via Charminar, you come you see a different Hyderabad. That's the charm of this Hyderabad. And those who are non-vegetarians, please don't miss to have Hyderabadi biryani before you leave, because we have a very, very popular saying, if you have a Hyderabadi biryani and Gandipet water, we have a tank of Gandipet Excellency in this, drinking water tank called Gandipet. So if somebody has a Hyderabadi biryani and a Gandipet water, they will never leave Hyderabad. That is the charm of Hyderabad. This is a place where we have, there is a place of diamond called Kohinoor diamond was from this place. This is a pearl city, and finally Hyderabad has been the melting pot of various cultures throughout its history of 400 years. I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you, introduce the topic, and welcome you. Thank you very much, friends.